Most evidence stems from ancient depictions in sculptures and paintings, leading some to believe that Africa is the birthplace of the martial arts. Illustrations on tomb walls, now thought to be indicative of a martial arts system, were discovered, leading some to believe that Africa is the birthplace of the martial arts.
We're talking about everything from empty-hand combat all the way up to use of weaponry.
In the early 1800s, in an area called Beni Hassan, along the lower Nile in Egypt, illustrations on tomb walls, now thought to be indicative of a martial arts system, were discovered. Their date of origin is estimated at 2500 BC, centuries before the existence of any other verifiable martial arts system.
We're talking about everything from empty-hand combat all the way up to use of weaponry. From the 500 individual pairs of wrestling figures to infantrymen with bows and arrows, to fighters with clubs and axes and maces, to the technology of the testudo, which is a shielding device, and their use of a long-range lance, right up to the fortification. We're looking at a complete martial arts system in every sense of the word.
But it was the marriage of physical combat with a philosophical system that distinguished the martial arts of Asia. Most martial arts practiced around the world today have come mainly from China, Korea, Japan, and Okinawa. Only in Asia did different styles of empty-handed combat become an art regarded as a state secret or harbored within the walls of religious monasteries. Legend has it that in the early 6th century, Bodhidharma, an Indian monk and Buddhist missionary, began a long trek from Western India to China. There he would preach Buddhist doctrine. Ultimately, his journey took him to the remote Shaolin Temple in central China.
The
Shaolin Temple was founded in 495 AD in the Wen Dynasty, and Bodhidharma came to the temple in 527 AD. He taught many things at Shaolin: Buddhism, philosophy, meditation.
Bodhidharma taught the Shaolin monks meditative breathing and stretching exercises like these that the monks named 18 Hands of the Lohan, or exercises for the greatest holiness. Some say this was a seminal influence into creating a Chinese martial art. Others disagree.
Some Chinese scholars say that Chinese martial arts antedates the Shaolin Temple, that they were practiced in China hundreds of years, even thousands of years before this, and that this is just one aspect of Chinese martial arts.
According to legend, the monks developed their exercise routine into a martial arts form that allowed them to defend themselves and their mountain temple against bandits and warlords. The monks' exercises would come to be known as Shaolin boxing, or Chuan Fa, way of the fist, and later in the West as Kung Fu. Shaolin Kung Fu spread across China and would eventually encompass hundreds of styles.
Shaolin is like a big tree. It had many branches that offshoot from the trees, and there were many different styles.
Some were based on animal movements and emphasized the quick, aggressive attack method of the Chinese boxing school known as external or hard. Centuries later, Kung Fu would greatly impact the development of karate.